The movie begins with a sight of a monster that emerged thousands of years ago. This evil entity had journeyed from the depths of hell, stepping into the realm of humans with a purpose of wreaking havoc and spreading untold suffering. Distinguishing him were his eyes, one red, one black, symbols of his demonic power and the suffering he caused. The then spiritual leader Buddha took action to stop this reign of terror. To contain the monster's power, he extracted both eyes, intending to seal them away. Buddha locked the black eye in a secure box. However, before he could do the same with the red eye, it managed to escape and disappear for 7 days. During this period, the red eye exhibited its mysterious power by possessing 7 individuals. On the 8th day, recognizing it could not escape from Buddha forever, the red eye surrendered, allowing itself to be captured. The extracted eyes were safely buried within the cliffs of the Far East and the desert of the Far West. Buddha, ensuring they would never be rejoined, gave strict instructions to his followers. Both eyes were sealed within their respective boxes and dispatched to opposite ends of the earth. The objective was to keep them hidden and apart, for their reunion could potentially recreate the terrible monster. Fast forward to the movie's present day, where we meet Professor Kim. An enthusiastic archaeologist, Kim discovers the box containing the red eye during an excavation in a desert. The discovery filled him with joy, for he had long been laughed at for his belief in the ancient tale of the monster and its eyes. Yet despite the excitement, the scientific community dismissed his discovery as a fake thing, causing him to be ridiculed by his peers. 14 years later, Professor Kim, now more determined than ever, seeks to redeem himself by reuniting the black and red eyes. The sky bleeds red, signaling the night of the blood moon. Soon, Kim initiates a ritual infusing the fire with droplets of his own blood mixed with others. His intent is to rouse the dormant power of the red eye. Just as Kim is about to accept defeat, the red eye suddenly comes back to life, seemingly taking possession of the desperate professor. Simultaneously, in a far-off monastery in Gwangju, an old monk named Ha Zheng, who is the guardian of the black eye casket, senses the reawakening of the red eye's power. Soon after Ha Zheng's student, Chung Seok, arrives, the old monk narrates the tale of the monster to him, explaining the imminent danger. He reveals that the reactivated red eye will enchant 7 individuals over 7 days, just as it had done thousands of years ago. The ultimate aim is to locate and unite with the black eye. Should this occur, the world would face catastrophic destruction on the 8th day, courtesy of the reborn monster. To prevent this from happening, they must eliminate the 7th victim, known as the Virgin Shaman, before the red eye can reunite with the black eye. Ha Zheng further discloses that the cycle of enchantment could be broken if any one of the 7 victims is killed, thereby disrupting the red eye's plan. Events start to unfold as told by the old monk, with the red eye beginning its enchantment, first taking hold of a hunter who undergoes terrifying transformations. The following day, Chung Seok awakens from a troubling dream to find monk Ha Zheng beside him, passing him a box. The monk instructs Chung Seok to find Park, an exorcist, who could assist in their cause. But before Chung Seok can act, Ha Zheng unexpectedly passes away. The film then cuts to a hotel on the 3rd day since the red eye began its evil operation. Already it has bewitched 2 individuals. No one knows who the red eye's next victim will be. A detective arrives at the hotel where a possessed hunter has fatally attacked a person. The hunter's lifeless body lies beside the victim, appearing as though he died the previous night. With Ha Zheng no more, Chun Seok is determined to honor his late mentor's request. He sets out to locate Park, carrying the entrusted box. However, during his journey, someone steals his bag. A girl draws his suspicion, but she vanishes into the crowd before he can confront her. Despite the setback, Chun Seok eventually finds Park's house and awaits his arrival. When Park finally appears, Chun-suk reveals the loss of the box, originally meant for Park as per Ha-jung's instruction. Intriguingly, Park possesses the unique ability to communicate with Ha-jung's spirit. Park conveys the spirit's message. They need to prevent the enchantment of a specific girl to stop the Red Eye's plan. The following day, Park and Chun-suk embark on a mission to find the 7th person in the Red Eye's enchantment chain. Noticing Chun-suk's worn-out shoes, Park buys him a new pair. This prompts Chun-suk to accidentally break his vow of silence by thanking Park. The duo presses on, seeking the 7th individual. As night descends, Park's past unfolds, revealing a tragic history. Park lost his family in a car accident caused by Chun-suk's mother, who also had a young son, Chun-suk. Park struggles with his anger towards the boy, but ultimately decides to spare him. Following the death of his wife and child, Park becomes a monk in Gwonju. Upon her death, Chun-suk's mother writes a letter to Park asking him to adopt Chun-suk. Park agrees, but leaves Chun-suk in Gwonju, ultimately abandoning his monastic life and duties. The next day, Park instructs Chun-suk to look for local shaman services, hoping to locate the virgin shaman. After hearing about a recent strange murder, Park visits the tunnel where the bodies of a woman and a delivery person were found, the last 2 victims of the Red Eye. During his investigation, Detective Ho-tae stops Park and requests his credentials, suspicious of his possible involvement in the murders. An altercation ensues when Park tries to flee, leaving behind his map with marked locations. With the map as evidence, Detective Ho-tae and his colleague Dong-jin become increasingly suspicious of Park and believe the missing persons marked on the map are victims of a serial killer. Little do they know that the Red Eye is the real murderer. A recent report of a missing high school girl leads them to suspect she could be the next target. While on his search for the local shaman service per Park's instruction, Chun-suk finds himself in front of a home of a virgin shaman as rain begins to fall. A pretty girl named A-ron invites him into her house and offers him tea. Leaving the shaman's house, Chun-suk spots a schoolgirl who he recognizes to be under the Red Eye's influence. Frightened, he flees the scene and informs Park of his encounter. Park instructs Chun-suk to return home, revealing his intention to kill A-ron, who he believes to be the 7th pillar and the virgin shaman. Even though they part ways, Chun-suk, developing feelings for the A-ron, decides to protect her. Hence, he goes to her location, taking her away. Meanwhile, another body is discovered, identified as archaeologist Professor Kim, who's been conducting a meditation camp since 2016. In a startling twist, it's discovered that all the related individuals, including the missing schoolgirl and the local virgin shaman, attended this camp. This revelation shocks the police, leading the lead detective to secure the shaman's address and calls Dong-jin, suspecting the arrival of the serial killer. Park, armed with an axe, reaches the location. He intends to kill the who he believes to be the virgin shaman. Simultaneously, the detective arrives in pursuit of Park. Just as tensions escalate, the schoolgirl who's possessed by the Red Eye shows up. She displays abnormal strength, flinging the detective aside, knocking him unconscious. As Park prepares to strike the possessed girl with his axe, she seeks help Dong-jin, who just arrived to the scene. The detective gun aimed at Park is caught off guard when the possessed girl attacks him from behind. She transfers the Red Eye to him. The detective, now under the Eye's influence, confronts Park. But as other police officers arrive, Park manages to escape. On the other hand, Chun-suk escorts the A-ron to his monastery. As the 7th day dawns, the Red Eye prepares to possess its 7th victim. Park is seen rushing to the bus station, desperately needing to reach a temple before the arrival of the 8th night. Frustration builds as he waits for a late bus. In the midst of the wait, the spirit of the late monk appears, urging Park to sacrifice himself if necessary to prevent the fulfillment of the curse. The spirit implores him to continue his fight against the red eye to prevent it from merging with the black eye and reopening the gates of hell. Finally, as the bus arrives, Park sets off towards the temple. On the following day, Chung-suk and the girl reach the monastery. As they arrive, the rain begins to fall and they take shelter in a small house nearby. Dong-jin, under the red eye's influence, arrives at the monastery. Upon his arrival, he kills the remaining monks. Meanwhile, the police soon discover the schoolgirl's body, indicating the red eye had moved on to the next host, Dong-jin. As Park arrives at the house by the monastery, he finds that the girl with Chung-suk has vanished. In her place, the black eye box appears, much to Chung-suk's confusion. The box was initially stolen by the girl. In the subsequent scene, Officer Ho-tae, previously knocked unconscious, regains consciousness in the house. An elderly lady present begins to explain everything. She's the original virgin shaman and has also attended the meditation camp. It was there she first encountered Aaron, the same girl who accompanied Chiang-sok. Aaron, she reveals, is now a ghost. As a child, Aaron suffered many abuses that led her to contemplate suicide. Professor Kim adopted her and provided an education. When the professor was marked as a fraud, he asked for Aaron's help. According to the Red Eye tablet, a girl must be sacrificed before the Red Eye can awaken. This would result in the girl becoming the Lady Ghost, the monster's servant. Aaron then took her own life to help Professor Kim awaken the Red Eye. The Virgin Shaman further explains that a few days ago she deceived the Dong-jin by taking his blood under the lie of making a blessing. The truth was she needed the blood for the Red Eye. She was initially the 7th person, but Aaron altered her position. She made the detective the 7th person. Each of the 6 individuals involved had once attempted suicide, but Aaron saved them, manipulating them for her purposes. They were all individuals destined for death. Then the shaman breaks down, admitting through her tears that she had done everything to save her life from the monster. She discloses the address of the monastery, where things are anticipated to unfold, and Officer Ho-tae leaves. At the monastery, Park sets a clever trap for Dong-jin. He curtains the place with enchanted thread and ignites a fire in the center. As the long-anticipated 8th night descends, the possessed Dong-jin strolls into this trap, seemingly unaffected. He reveals that the 8th stepping stone is the heir of Ha-jung, the elderly monk and Cheong-sok's predecessor. He is the only one capable of opening the Black Eye box. Since Park left the monastery, he isn't the successor. It's Chang-seok who is the rightful heir. Dismissing Park's life as a failure, Dong-jin hands him a gun, suggesting suicide. Meanwhile, Aaron magically appears and confronts Chang-seok and starts to possess him. Just at that moment, Park fires his weapon at Dong-jin. Enraged, Dong-jin unleashes the 6 spirits under his command to assault Park. The spirits, appearing as dark figures, swarm Park. Witnessing these events, a startled Chung-suk moves, only to meet Officer Ho-tae. The officer is shocked to see the possessed Dong-jin. Shortly after, Dong-jin flings Ho-tae aside and advances determinedly towards Chung-suk. With a firm grip, Dong-jin grabs hold of Chung-suk's leg and starts to drag him. In a swift and decisive move, Park drives his mighty axe deep into Dong-jin's back. Witnessing this intense moment, Ho-tae reacts instinctively and fires a shot at Park. Amidst the chaotic scene unfolding, the Red Eye finally takes possession of Chung-suk. As the evil influence takes hold, Dong-jin's body begins to rapidly decay, marking the end of his purpose. The now possessed Chung-suk forcefully throws Ho-tae against a towering tree, resulting in his immediate and unfortunate death. Now completely under the grip of possession, Chung-suk opens the mysterious box containing the Black Eye, apparently uniting both eyes within it. As if responding to this unholy union, a glowing portal appears in the sky, a sign of an evil portal's awakening. Cheong-suk, now under the control of the Red Eye, stands before Park. He extends an evil offer to Park, an opportunity to kill him and avenge his family. The reason for this? A tragedy from the past when Cheong-suk's mother was responsible for a car accident that claimed the lives of Park's beloved family. Torn between anger, sadness, and a sense of duty, Park finds himself wrestling with the overwhelming urge to strike Cheong-suk down. But he overcomes his inner turmoil, instead choosing a different path. Instead of killing him as offered, Park reaches out and uses his blood to draw a mystical symbol on Cheong-suk's face. This isn't an act of revenge, but of hope. Holding the possessed Cheong-suk, Park begins a rhythmic chant, using skills acquired over a lifetime as an exorcist. He commences a battle of wills against the demonic Red Eye that has made a home in Cheong-suk's body. After an intense struggle, Park's chanting proves successful. Cheong-suk is freed from the clutches of the evil entity, regaining control of his own body with a newfound appreciation for life and gratitude towards Park. He decides to return the favor, picking up the enchanted axe. Cheong-suk makes the decision to try to rid Park of the evil eye that has moved from him to Park. Just as Cheong-suk gathers his strength to strike, a bright red eye manifests itself on Park's forehead. This is the mark of a possession, a sign that the fight isn't over yet. However, Cheong-suk doesn't hold back. With a swift movement of the axe, he manages to successfully drive the evil red eye out of Park, once again restoring balance and peace. As the movie draws to a close, we see Cheong-suk in a desert, burying the red eye box. There, he also liberates Aaron's soul, which was bound by a chain. The movie wraps up beautifully with a glimmer of hope for Cheong-suk and Aaron, hinting at a new beginning free from curses and possession. This film showcases a captivating blend of the supernatural and human emotions, reminding us of the superb human spirit's ability to confront and conquer our darkest fears. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.